Hey Vern, old buddy, good to see you could make it. And you keeping an eye on Sparky? Because, oh no, I see he's been into my Trudeau glass. Hey Sparky, I told you to stay away from my good glasses. Well, you've been up all night into the Scotch as well. You're gonna have to start behaving yourself, or you're gonna end up like Vern up on the wall.
If you want to jump the Macallan introduction, just scroll ahead for the review.
We're going to locate the famous Speyside distillery, Macallan's. And it's located just northwest of Dufftown in Craigellachie. And there it is. The Macallan's distillery. Well, welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. And I have just got down from the hill again. Yeah, I'm getting lots of exercise here in the winter here. If I'm not working, I am up there having a pretty good workout on the Nordic track. So sort of swung it from the downhill skiing to more Nordic. They're trying to keep fit. So what we're going to do, we've done the Macallan sherry cask. I haven't done the 15 yet, I don't think. The 12. I've got this cute little 12 here. These are hard to find, by the way. And this has been a regular of mine for quite a few years, so know a little bit about it. It hasn't changed really a lot, but let's see what happens in the review. Cute little bottle, you gotta admit, eh? Half a bottle. Typical of your Macallans, it's a Class C bottle. So, Macallan's is world renowned, just as Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, Glenmorangie, and, well, Lagavulin, Lafroig, Ardbeg. There's these class names in the industry, you know, Balvenie, Dalmore. But Macallan's really does stand out. I mean, it was probably my first whiskey that went over the top. That was many years ago, back in my fishing days. So, and maybe it's memories. You never really get over it. You always have those memories of this incredible whiskey. And it was bought to me by a fish buyer. He bought me an 18 back when you could afford an 18. It's, you know, back in the days when it was a fifth or a sixth of the price it is today. And my son bought me an 18. He certainly couldn't afford that today. So I believe this is 40 ABV. I think the sherry cask I did was 43. But anyways, let's get right into it. The nose. Yeah. I smell the sherry, the Oloroso cask. Little musky. And we've got the fruits, we've got the raisins, we've got the dark fruits. Yeah, a little bit of citrus, and then a bit of orange and chocolate mix there. Caramel, cinnamon, maybe even a little bit of ginger. Oh, I always like the nose of a Macallan. And I think there is always going to be, the critical reviews on the price, and it doesn't matter who the reviewer is. Everybody seems to be concerned about the price of Macallans going up, but this has been pretty reasonable. You can still afford a 12. I think I bought 15 triple not too long ago. They hadn't changed the price on it. It was still in the 165-ish range. I see now they're up and around the 225, 230 for the double 15, and I know the 18's up in the 400 plus 450. I'm talking Canadian. God, I just bought a 24-year-old Adrington Old Perth. It's got Macallans in it, and I sure didn't pay that for it, or I wouldn't have bought it. It was half the price. I will do a review on the Old Perth as well. 24 years old. I've got a 24-year-old Glenlivet I'm going to do a review on when I get an opportunity. I'm trying to do reviews on things that people are going to be drinking. Those are not, those are specialty people that have gone out and spent that extra bit of money. I mean, there's going to be a lot fewer people that are going to be looking at that review than something like this. It's a little bit more affordable. So we got always a little bit of, like I say, you get a little bit of that, I say musky, herbal, but with it you get that, the sherry influence, which is of course the berries, and I said the dark fruit, the raisins, the plums, or the prunes. Lots of spices. Okay, the palate, Slàinte. An affordable Macallan's, and I believe it's 40 ABV. No coloring added. At least they have good cask influence on this. I will say that. They seem to pick their casks. And my understanding is that they only, Glengoyne and Macallan use that golden barley. It's unique to those two distilleries. I know they pay more for it, but they're pretty strict in how they make this, because they want to retain that signature, and the barley is part of it. So is the shape of their stills. So is the cask finishing. So, but I'm tasting the dried fruits. I'm again getting that Oloroso influence there, because I'm also getting a little bit of the ripe fruits. So I got the dried fruits mixed with the ripe fruits, and definitely we're getting that the orange mixed in there, the citrus notes. I was kind of stingy there. I'm going to have to top it up. Oh, the oak. We're getting the oak. Yes. Slight bit of bitterness, just a slight bit. I think some people are more sensitive to that bitterness in the oak. I know I'm a little more tolerant of it, so I know when I reviewed the Renaissance Chapter 4, I really enjoyed that. That was an 18-year-old, and I know that Whiskey Jason wasn't crazy about it. He found it too oaky. I think we're all different. Some of us like a little more oaky. Some don't. So some like a little more sherry, some don't. Some like a little bit more smoke, some don't. I'm kind of in the middle. I can go left, I can go right. So I've been drinking this for quite a few years, the 12s, because they were always affordable and they were a go-to. there's not a lot of difference in this and what I've been drinking, you know, years ago in the Macallan. So people say that it's not as good as it used to be. Maybe some of the bottlings are, but the basic 12 is still pretty much the basic 12. And you know, you're still getting the cinnamon and ginger notes, and you still get that chocolate, you know, toward the tail end there. I've always kind of felt that there's the sweetness is sort of blending in with the spices, and it just is a well balanced, for a 12-year-old, it's a very well balanced whiskey. So we're gonna have to go for the finish because it's all disappeared to the finish. Back to the spices again. Cinnamon, a little bit of white pepper and the ginger, hot chocolate. When I say hot chocolate, spicy chocolate, pardon me, and the oak. A little bit of maltiness. Get a little bit of the maltiness there, but it's again. I think it's going to be a medium, shorter, the shorter end of medium. Yeah, medium finish. It's not a bad finish, really. My mouth isn't dry. You know, I'm getting a little bit of the oak, but you know, it's not as bitter as some of the drinks I've had that are sometimes are a little bit oaky, or as one reviewer mentioned, you can taste the lumber. Anyways, so well balanced for a 12, for an affordable 12. I forgot what I paid for this, but if it's in the 100 range, it's right on the $100 range for their 12. I got to look that one up. I'll put it in the review, what I paid for it. I still buy it. It's got to be affordable, or I wouldn't buy it. So when I bought the sherry cask, it was more expensive. I bought it because I hadn't had it before, and I'd heard good things about it. In all fairness, even though, you know, I think the sherry was 43 and this is 40, but in all fairness, this is not a bad whiskey. You know, when I think of the sherry and what I paid and the price of this, I think it's 100 or under 100. This is not a bad whiskey. I'm going to say we're looking at probably an 83 on this. And I would definitely, if I was looking at having a Macallan that I could, you know, something that I could afford and have it in my wheelhouse, and you should have a Macallan in your wheelhouse. This is definitely one you should go after, the 12 double casks. So I didn't talk much about their double casks, the way they work their casks, but it's pretty straightforward. You know, they've got two different casks that they are finishing in, and of course they marry them together. And this is a company, it's very picky about its casks. So when it goes after sherry casks, they go after the best sherry casks they can find. So they're very connected with the vineyards, and they've got a lot of history of being successful and the way they finish their whiskeys and that. So again, it's a whiskey worth purchasing. So I will leave the price, by the way, on the video. So I'm going to ask you to drink wisely and intelligently, and do not drink and drive. And until the next time, Slàinte.